Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1.
Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports.
Hello, everybody. Welcome into another edition of From the Rough. It's America's favorite golf podcast right here on FanStream Sports. I'm your illustrious and handsome host, IndyCarTim, joined, as I usually sometimes occasionally am, PGA of America member, Mr. Johnny Gerber. Good afternoon, Jonathan Gerb.
It just keeps rolling off your tongue, right? Rolling off your tongue. Handsome and humble, I hear. Handsome and
very
humble.
humble. Very humble.
Yeah, I hear this. Nice golf shirt, though. I mean, coming from the guy that just doesn't play golf, just wants to wear golf shirts. You look good.
I had some clothes I might play. I don't know.
Where'd you get those shirts? They look nice. I don't have any. I gave them all away.
Showed up in my mail. I don't know, some box full of goodies. I thought it was Christmas.
I know. Those are great. Christmas in August. How about that?
That's the only time it should be.
That's what we got this week. Christmas in August with Ryder Cup picks as we continue to mold into form as our Ryder Cup kind of culminates with the last 6 picks that we talked about last week. Mm-hmm. And now we finally got them today. So looking forward to diving into these picks and, no surprises like we talked about last week. No surprises, it's true to form. You got 13 guys on that team. So, normally, you have 12, but 13 this year. So it's going to be great.
So we went through Keegan Bradley's U.S. Cup choices last week in lieu of any actual golf happening because, everything's surrounding the Ryder Cup right now. And then early Monday morning over in Good Day, Mate land. And yes, you idiots that come at me on social media. That's not British. That's Australian, you idiot. You know what? I know that. Okay. So don't freaking come at me. I'm aware of what country it is, you moron.
Get him. Everybody just get him. He deserves it. Get him.
That is my blanket statement that I use for all foreign countries. It doesn't matter where. It could have been the Death Star, and I'd have said, good day, mate. All right?
What's the Death Star?
It's in Star Trek, okay? You won't get it because you don't watch movies.
Star Trek or Star Wars?
Sure. What's the difference?
Exactly. I don't know. I mean,
somebody's going to come at me for that now, too. Jesus.
Coming from the guy that doesn't play video games.
No, it's really nice to have a golden tee machine here in the studio, though.
Let's put it in the budget. How about that? Let's put it in the FanStream Sports. That would be cool. I would say.
I mean, those guys, those idiots up in Ohio have a freaking automatic ice machine, and I can't get a golden tee machine.
It's a little different. It's just a little different. Essentially, we need ice. I mean, we just need ice up there.
I have ice. See, I took care of the ice thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Cost anybody anything for me to take care of the ice thing. I went and bought a $9 freaking tray to put ice in.
$9. If you spent $9 on an ice tray, you got hornswoggled.
I think I got it on Amazon. It might be gold plated too. I'm not sure.
And I'm pretty sure the comparability of the Dallas studio and the Columbus studio is a little different. So
yeah, because Dallas is by far dominant.
Yeah, I mean,
it costs a lot more too.
Yeah, it's because that's money will buy you domination. Money will buy you domination.
That's true.
Yeah.
But we are not here to talk about domination. We'll do that on the next show on Wednesday.
Or are we?
Because no team will dominate the other here at the end of the month. By the way, the calendar has turned to September, Johnny. Wasn't sure if you were aware of that or not.
September 1st.
September 1st. Let's see. In 23 days would have been the great Eddie Joe Hamm's 95th birthday on September 24th.
All right.
And I believe the drunk girl I met at the bar said her birthday's coming up this week, but I don't remember her name or what her birthday was. So shout out to her.
Her, H-E-R, her.
Oh, Rachel. Rachel was her name. I remember now.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Wow. Now you just randomly remember.
Rachel. Well, I like the name Rachel, so I remembered Rachel, but at the time I wasn't remembering much.
Who's everybody's got their one girl that they've dated over and over. I know Tio is Heather. You have
I have
NASCAR,
two.
you have NASCAR so many women. I'm sure there's turnover here.
So, are you talking about name-wise or a girl or one girl?
Yeah, name-wise.
Oh, I've got two. I have dated an unusual amount of Misties and Jenny / Jennifer / Jenna. Yes, that variation of that name.
Yeah. Okay.
All over those, like since like middle school.
Misty's questionable, but Jennifer, I get that.
And variations on the spelling of Misty. There's been the normal MISTYs. There's been the MYSTI. There's been the MISTI, like kind of the borderline stripper, but never the MYSTI. That's the stripper Misty. But lots of Jennifers and Jennies, and
you know why it's Misty? It's short for mystery. When you get them in the club,
and they're always mysteries.
Yeah,
is it a man or a woman? Sometimes I still don't even know.
I'm not sure I would go that far. You should probably know that before anything else. I mean, are you in Thailand or what?
I don't know. What's in Thailand?
Yeah, nothing. Still can't hear you. You got cut off. Can't hear you.
The great.
There we go.
The great Chevy Chase. The great. What was her name? Cindy something from Caddyshack. You gonna tie me up with your ties, Ty?
Ty, yeah.
Second greatest golf movie ever made after Happy Gilmore. You loved Happy Gilmore too.
I can't hear you.
So Luke Donald comes out early Monday morning from across the pond, mate, and finalized his 12-man roster on Monday with no surprises, even fewer new faces, and as a matter of fact, Johnny, the way I broke this down, the team is almost identical to 2 years ago, all the way down to the last names of the players. There's only one instance where it's a little bit different as we swap out Nikolai for Rasmus.
Yeah.
The names last names are all exactly the same.
And they're the same person. They'll be playing both. They're both playing. Trust me, it's 13-man field. That's how they kicked USA's ass last year, because they had 13 players. They just did. I mean, they substitute him out. You know that bathroom trick, when they go to the porta potties, it's just revolving. It's that revolving trap door. It's just what it is.
As Rasmus, well, I guess Nikolai. Wait, which one's the one that's in? It's Nikolai, right?
Rasmus is in. Nikolai played last year. Yeah,
that's right. Okay, yeah. Like I can't even tell them apart. But yeah, this team will be strong, if not stronger, than 2023 when they absolutely mopped the Roman Coliseum floor with the American players. And while I am not, maybe, and you know what, I don't want to get into predictions. We'll get into that as closer we get to the actual event. But I am leaning a specific way. But so Luke Donald goes in. He has his top 6 qualifiers, which were Rory McIlroy, Robert McIntyre, Tommy Fleetwood. By the way, Johnny, we live in a world now where Tommy Fleetwood is the tour champion.
They let little people win golf tournaments too. It's okay. They're allowed.
That's what you call him, not me.
Oh yeah.
He's got good hair. That's all I care about.
He does have good hair.
Good hair. Justin Rose, Rasmus Højgaard, and Terrell Hatton. And then Luke Donald goes almost 7 through 12 in the standings with no deviation as he goes Shane Lowry, number 7. My name is Sepp Straka, number 8. Ludwig Oberg, number 9. Victor Hovland, number 10. Matt Fitzpatrick, number 11. And then, Matt Wallace was like, oh, my God, I'm next. I'm going to make the freaking Ryder Cup team. I'm going to make the Ryder Cup team. And
John Rahm.
Then he says John Rahm, who is number 24 in your rankings.
And that's a skewed stat, right? I mean,
it is.
The people. John Rahm was making the team. Let's get this very clear. John Rahm was making this team, so don't be confused. It wasn't. I didn't watch the whole press conference. Did he announce John Rahm at the end?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he did, because they told him to do that. I promise.
Oh, yeah, drama. We need drama.
Yeah, man. You golf golf's got to give you a little bit of drama, and yeah, that's what it is. I mean, for those people who didn't think John Rahm was going to be on this team, those are the people that don't know anything about golf, and it's okay to not know anything about golf. But Matt, obviously Luke Donald had some tough calls to make, and he makes those calls on, beforehand. Yeah. But I mean, if you break it down, I mean, is your team stronger if Matt Wallace is on it or if John Rahm's on it? Take your personal opinions out, Tim. Yeah. Because if
I can't stand John Rahm.
I know, and I'm not really a big John Rahm fan either. I mean, but this team is better with him on it. I mean, let's not be confused when it comes to something like that. And he's
especially over Matt Wallace. Nothing against Matt Wallace, but come on.
But who are you going to, if you look at it back that way, I mean, Matt Wallace, but who else would you put in? You have a poll of maybe 3 guys. Harry Hall, Matt Wallace.
Thomas Dietrich.
Hell to the no. That's not happening. So, you look at who would you take out? You just don't. So, hey, listen, man, I think they're better than they were 2 years ago in terms of the guys playing better golf. I don't know, man. Like we talked about last week, I think this is the most exciting I've been in a Ryder Cup for a long time. And the gambling aspect is just going to be fantastic and off the charts.
Yeah, because for me, it's different than 2 years ago. It's different than 2023 because I don't know, even at this point in the process, a month before the event, when names were being thrown out there and you had your automatic qualifiers and then you had your captain's picks, I don't remember being this into it. Like, I don't know that when that was going down, knowing where they were going to play, knowing the type of course it was, I don't know that I ever gave the Americans a shot in hell of winning that thing. Like, even this early on in the process.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't feel like that now, though.
Yeah, a little bit too is, I don't think Scotty wasn't at his dominance 2 years ago that he is now. So that gives a little bit of an intriguing scenario. Rory obviously didn't win the Masters 2 years ago going into now. So your storylines, what's happening in the guys who are playing so well, and maybe the guys aren't playing so well. Some of the guys it's kind of tiered off. Man, listen, it's going to be interesting to see some of the guys that play going into it that need to get in a little bit form. I think Rory's going to play the Irish Open. I don't see why he wouldn't this week. So I think there's going to be some guys and determine their schedule. I know they're going 10 days before the Ryder Cup for a retreat or however they're going to figure out going out to play together. Right. I mean, they know each other so well, way more than the Americans do. That's one of the formulas that why the Europeans have had such success in this, because their bond and how they've kind of, I always tell people when I was over there playing was, I get asked all the time, what's the difference? Well, I'll tell you the main difference. Here it is. So the Europeans, even back then, everyone traveled together. Mm-hmm. There wasn't the private jets. There were a few guys had the private jets, but there were the Faldos but everyone traveled together. Everyone stayed in the same hotel. Everyone had dinner together. Even the guys on the European tour that weren't, superstars. It was just it was just because European is where the events were. Mm-hmm. There's not a million hotels around, right? I mean, it's just the way Europe is structured and the European tour. Here in the United States, everybody's staying in different hotels. They're eating different places for dinner, and they're more individualized. I think that's one of the biggest flaws of the European team, that they just didn't know each other well enough, that they didn't bond enough. And I think, I think Keegan Bradley's taking that to heart, and I think that's one of the situations that they're going to get closer, and you could probably see that in the last couple of years that they have been closer together as a team.
Well, and I think you had an inept captain 2 years ago as well, and that's been a topic of,
and there's that
a lot of people's conversation. And Zach John, I don't know what the hell that was all about, but it was possibly one of the most disappointing occurrences in U.S. national team play of any sport anywhere. And he was largely responsible for that. And I don't know that he'll ever be forgiven from a nationalistic, standpoint from people, golf or otherwise, how he handled that whole thing. It was just completely botched from the get-go.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's a different year, different time, somewhat of a different team. The home team has won 8 of the last 9 matches in this event, including 5 in a row. John Rahm,
Medina was the last time the Europeans won on this soil.
Yep.
But
again, I'm not giving any predictions until we get closer to the event, but look out for the Euros. John Rahm and Tyrrell Hatton are only eligible to compete this year because they are appealing fines levied by the DP World Tour for playing in conflicting events on the circus-style live golf situation. I'm not even calling it a tour, whatever it is.
Yeah, that's fair.
So those appeals are the only reason they're even allowed to play. And
let's clarify. Let's clarify that to people that don't know the appeals. They're appealing to get their points. Basically, what they're doing. So Tyrrell Hatton got the pick. Automatic. He got automatic because
it was the last automatic spot. Yeah,
he has occurred in the more European Tour events that he has played, so he's getting points. So they're appealing to get the points. If he doesn't get the points, he probably have to be a pick, like John Rahm. John Rahm didn't play nearly as many events as Tyrrell Hatton did. Tyrrell Hatton kind of, foreseeing the future. Hey man, I got to get some points to get this Ryder Cup, and I'm sure Luke Donald told him that too. He's like, hey man, play, and that's gonna go away. I mean, if you look this time, in 2 years when the Ryder Cup happens again over there, is all the live stuff's going to be gone over. There's going to be combining tours. There's going to be points. So there's not going to be any discrepancies when it comes to that. But I think, Tyrrell Hatton foreshadowing, hey, listen, I got to get some points so I don't have to. So there's not two guys from live that need to be picked. I think good for him to do that. And the appeal will be over. It's just an appeal for the fines, but that's why they're getting points. And that's why he's able to get points to be on that Ryder Cup.
Yeah, and who knows where we'll be in 2 years, right? When we go through all of this again, where we'll be with the live golf situation and the DP World Tour and the PGA Tour. Will we be closer to a reunification? I don't know. I'm not very optimistic about that, but we may have other things set in place, even if they're not reunified, where this isn't so much of an issue with sharing points and things like that, right? I mean, that's a possibility, and I hope so, because you want to see the best players at these types of events, right? There's a reason why there's automatic qualifiers based on what they're qualified on. And there's a reason why your captain gets to go pick another 6 players and of his choice that are suited for the team, for the course, for the opponents, for matchups and things like that. And, that's the way you want it. You don't want guys excluded. As much as I would love to have those guys excluded, it's not fun golf. It's not fun to watch, So as much as it pains me to say that, I want John Rahm at, just like I want Bryson on the American team. I don't agree with what he's doing and where he's doing it, but I want to watch him play and represent his country to have the best possible event. And I think it's going to be a good event for sure.
I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be awesome.
Sepp Straka, Oberg, and Hovland have all won on the PGA Tour this season. Lowry and Fitzpatrick have combined for 9 top 10s. And, of course, over on that circus tour, John Rahm defended his title as the individual champion. I literally learned about that the first time today prepping for the show. I had no idea that they had they just play teams. I didn't know they had individual crap too. I can't keep up with all of it. It's a joke. I told you that I got, not to go off on this, but I got stuck in the airport at Orlando for 7 hours coming back from Columbus. And
no, you made me well aware. You told me this a million
The bar
times.
where I was at, where I was forced to sit and enjoy some subpar Mexican food at a so-called On the Border. The only TV they had the freaking Live Tour event on it that day. Dude, I was lost. I sat there and watched it for probably 3 hours, and I had no idea what was happening. With all the graphics all over the screen, with them switching back and forth with team logos and announcers, and I couldn't hear any of it. But, dude, I got a headache just trying to keep up with everything on screen that was going on, and it was overload. And it was terrible.
I like what you say. It's a circus. That's fair to say. I mean, I like you saying it was a circus.
It's very much a circus. There wasn't a lot of drama with the picks here for Luke Donald. I think he picked everybody that was expected to be picked. There wasn't really a lot of outliers or anybody that you're like, will he get in? Will he not get in? Except for one. And it didn't create a lot of drama because I don't think anybody really thought he would get in. But it was your number 12 qualifier, Matt Wallace. He just missed out on the European team back in 2018. He just misses out on it again on Monday morning. Over the weekend, he was brought to tears after a close call at the DP World Tour's European Masters. You don't know if a win over the weekend would have changed Luke Donald's mind and picked him over somebody that he had already had set. I doubt it. I kind of feel like the even with a win, Matty Wallace is not getting in, even if he wins the European Masters. I think Luke Donald's had this roster set for a while now, and I don't know that anything short of a miracle would have made him deviate from those six added to the original six.
Yeah, I think you make a great point. I think he's had it set for a while, and if you listen to him talk a little bit, these guys would play their way out. He gave an opportunity. Hey, listen, this is what I think is something really dramatic would probably have to happen. Guys really playing. Sepp Straka was a little bit of the wild card, I think, just because I think that his form has been bad I know he's been sick. Look at Ober. I know he's been sick. I know he's been hurt for the year, right? Going back into the spring. So maybe a couple of those guys, if they go to Luke Donald and say, hey man, listen, I'm not healthy enough to really go, even though it's 3 weeks from now. I just think he has had it set. It's a great point you just make. And I think these guys had to make their way out as opposed to these guys making their way in.
So you do have one newcomer, as we've discussed early in the show, from the 2023 team. And that is Rasmus Højgaard, who takes the place of his brother Nikolai Højgaard. And by the way, Rasmus isn't necessarily a stranger to this, because while he wasn't on the actual playing team in Rome, he was part of the non-player staff for the European Ryder Cup team last year. I don't know what they do, but he was there with his brother, and he was in and around it. So it's not like this is all necessarily, brand new territory for him.
Yeah, they shuffled matches. One guy would play 9 holes, and then they'd substitute him in. And
right,
Rasmus and Nikolai, they shared reps.
Yeah, exactly, and nobody's supposed to know that.
No.
So Rasmus got the majority of his Ryder Cup points late last year after finishing in a flourish on the DP World Tour. He solidified his spot among the top 6 with a clutch performance 2 weeks ago in the British Masters. He followed it up by tying for second with Wallace in last week's event in Switzerland. The 6 captains' picks for the Euro team went a combined 10, 8, and 4 in Rome. They will join a veteran squad that, like we said, already includes Højgaard, Hatton, Rory, Robert McIntyre, Tommy Fleetwood, and Justin Rose. It's just the 4th time that the Europeans have held a single rookie on the team, and the first since 2012. And Luke Donald commented about the 2023 team. He mentioned continuity. He said there's a lot of continuity on that team, and it was a goal for him to keep all of that together, and rightfully so, especially for a winning squad. But he knows it's going to be a different event. It's in America, a different type of course, and by far, you would think a better lineup than what the Europeans faced in 2023 in Rome with the new American team.
Yeah, I mean, you look at a guy like, going back to Rasmus a little bit, he's one of the longest guys on the European PGA Tour. He hits it forever, so that's the added length there. If you want to go back a little bit and pull the curtain, I mean, if he doesn't get in as an automatic qualifier, I think that might have put the spot in for Matt Wallace. Mm-hmm. But now, I mean, Matt Wallace hits it plenty far, but you look at if there's a guy that fits that, even though he doesn't have the experience, if there's a guy that's golf course fits, it's Rasmus Højgaard. So don't be shocked if he performs well. I just think he's stoic enough, and he was around it last year in terms of that. Don't think he's just a bunny, that he's just out there as a head figure. He's going to play well, and you compare him with a lot of guys with his length.
Right. Let's take a quick break, Johnny, and then we'll come back. We'll talk a little more Ryder Cup action for everybody. We may not have a full show today, but we had to at least get the Ryder Cup stuff in there here on From the Rough. I'm IndyCarTim. That's Johnny. Today's show brought to you, as always, by Orion Golf. Head over to oriongolf.com. They are the leader in golf facilities management. If you own a golf course, a driving range, or any type of golf related business, they can help you out with staffing, with merchandise, with catering, with course management, facilities management, all that good stuff at oriongolf.com. Tell them that Tim and Johnny sent you, and they may still help you by virtue of you knowing us. Maybe. Head over to oriongolf.com today. Find out what they can do for you. I'm Tim. That's Johnny. We'll be back.
Hi, golfers. IndyCarTim here. I want to talk to you a little bit about Golf Central Magazine. It's not just a golf magazine. It's the magazine for everything. Turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Head over to golfcentralmag.com and check out the latest issue. Some of the regular features in Golf Central Magazine: the Golf Bachelorette of the Month, the Golf Bachelor of the Month, the Golf Cart Girl of the Month, Golf History, Grip It, and Sip It. So head over to golfcentralmag.com. It's free. It's the magazine for everything: turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Golf Central Magazine at golfcentralmag.com. We'll see you there.
Today's show is brought to you by Tomstown, a premier craft distillery based in Kansas City, Missouri. Discover their award-winning lineup, including double oaked bourbon, botanical gin, and double grain vodka, named the best craft vodka by the readers of USA Today. Available for online delivery in 40 states. Visit toms-town.com or their Kansas City distillery to explore more. Elevate your game with Tomstown, where history meets innovation. Please enjoy responsibly.
Hello, folks. Let's talk a little bit about turf life. And what is turf life? It's pretty much if your life involves turf in any way, shape, or form, you live the turf life. Go ahead and brand yourself with the turf life. Maybe a back window decal, maybe a hat. You know where you can get those kinds of things to showcase that your life revolves around sports and or anything that involves sports. If it's a sports business or sports education or just your enjoyment of the outdoors, head over to turflifeclub.com. Become a turf head. Join the club today. You can do that by going to that said website that I just told you to go to. You can snag your window decal like I was talking about, or any of your other turf life accessories. Show everybody that you live the turf life, and we'll see you there over there at that turflifeclub.com.
Orion Golf Management Solutions. Orion Management Solutions has tailored its service packages just like it tailors its approach to customers. Some owners need more supervision, while others need periodic assessment of their short-term and long-term strategies and programs. Orion can be called in to develop a business plan with the existing staff, or we can assist with the daily management of a facility or event. Either way, we make sure the client is satisfied and understands the direction the facility needs to go in order to achieve the owner's goals. Orion Management Solutions can help with owner assistance service solutions, daily course management, business plan development, monthly operations, or as-needed consulting services. Whatever your need, Orion Golf Management Solutions can help. Check out oriongolf.com.
Let's go! Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
Welcome back to From the Rough. Right here on FanStream Sports, I'm IndyCarTim. God, that was an abrasive and just botched return, wasn't it? Good grief. Had the volume down on the return music. I wasn't in my chair all the way.
What's going on with you? I mean,
had to make sure the kids weren't tearing up the rest of the studio while I'm in here doing a show.
Who's there? Here's there. Eli? Who's there? Eli? Who else?
Eli and Parker. They're in there playing their video games.
You know, tell them this isn't romper room. How you doing that?
I had to bribe him to take all my trash out. Or TV boxes and stuff. Yeah. They don't ever do what they're told. You know, kids. I mean.
So what's that cost me?
Well, it cost me, not you.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. No. No, I'm going to get a text. Hey, can we get some pizza?
Eli wants to know when the Mercedes is going to be his. I said, well, maybe a while at this point. I said, you may not see that car. That car may have to be a down payment on another car. So I don't know. Yeah. We'll see. I said, we'll see. If not, we'll get you another. Go get you Bailey's Mercedes. She probably doesn't drive it anyway.
She probably can't drive anymore.
Probably doesn't need it without me around. I don't even want to know what's going on over there.
Bailey talk. She's listening. So you're going to be getting that text here in a little bit.
Crap. I'm going to be in trouble, aren't I?
Yeah.
Let's break down, now that we know all 24 participants, Johnny, let's break down both of these teams. We'll start with the Americans. The Americans, you realize now, and it seems like 2018 wasn't that long ago, but it really was, because Justin Thomas is your most experienced player now, your tenured player for the Americans with 4 appearances. Followed by Scotty, Xander, Patrick, and Bryson, and Colin with 3. Harris English, Sam Burns with 2. JJ Spawn, Russell Henley, Ben Griffin, and Cameron Young, all rookies. This is their first. So no records for them. Justin's record in foursomes. Not impressive, Johnny. 2-3. 2-3-0. I guess I have to throw the ties in there too, even though there aren't any. Four-ball record 2-1-2. Singles
Not
record.
surprising.
Singles record 3-0-0.
Yeah.
Justin is, as Keegan Bradley stated last week when he made his announcements and his picks and talked about the team. Justin is your anchor for this team, without a question.
Yeah, he's the Captain America, right? Every few years you get the entitlement. Patrick Reed was one. Jordan Spieth not being on this team. You look at those two guys that were kind of paired together a lot. No surprising in terms of, Justin Thomas' record in alternate shot hasn't been great. He's a guy that's could be at times very difficult to pair with. Reason being is he can make a ton of birdies, but he can make a lot of foul balls.
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
You're looking at a guy like that. So, yeah, no surprising. And you look at his individual record in match play, that fits a guy that makes a ton of birdies and potentially could not have could have a couple blow up holes. It's not really going to cost you nearly as much as it would be in a stroke play. If you look at his stroke play tournaments, it's what he does. He makes a huge number every once and again, but that's only one hole in match play. And
Right.
he'll make so many birdies to offset that. So, yeah, I mean, you look at a guy like that, he's going to be your horse.
Yep.
When it comes to something like that, and the challenge with Keegan Bradley is who do you pair him with?
Scotty Scheffler in his third appearance, his foursomes record, he is winless 0-2-0. His four-ball record 1-0-2. And his singles record 1-0-1. I expect him to improve on all of those across the board this year. What about you?
Yeah, same. I mean, I think it's the same.
Xander Schauffele in his third appearance, 2-2-0 in foursomes, 1-1-0 in four-ball, and 1-1-0 in singles record. Xander Schauffele with a more impressive record in the Ryder Cup than one Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah, a little bit bigger sample size Xander has than him. And if you look at you look at that pairing that he's going to have, I mean, no one's going to be surprised when Patrick Cantley's on there as his partner. Right. So, that comfortability that those two guys have for each other makes that record maybe look a little bit more skewed than, than Scotty's, but certainly a guy in Xander that doesn't make a lot of those big mistakes, but certainly can make a lot of birdies.
Patrick Cantley in his third appearance, 2-2-0 in four-ball, 1-0-1. In foursomes, 1-0-1 in four-ball, and 2-0-0 in singles.
Speaks for itself.
Yeah, pretty much. Bryson in his third appearance, 0-2-0 in foursomes, 1-0-1 in four-ball, and 1-1-0 in singles. Again, not the most impressive record for a guy like Bryson in two previous appearances there for sure.
Yeah, same situation, right? He makes a ton of birdies, but can hit some foul balls, and it's very difficult. When you're playing alternate shot or foursome, steady wins the race when it comes to that. And these guys who have some erratic tendencies certainly doesn't have a combined great record when it comes to alternate shot.
And then a guy who you think shouldn't be there, or anywhere else for that matter, Colin Morikawa in his second appearance.
He should be somewhere, just not
his
playing
third
golf.
appearance. Yes, exactly. Not anywhere around golf, right? 2-1-0 in foursomes. He is 2-1-0 in four-ball, and he is 0-1-1 in singles.
And again, that's the opposite of what
pick, right?
Yeah, well, no, he's number 8 in the world. I mean, it's hard not to pick the number 8 guy. Yeah, it doesn't certainly if you look at a guy, probably him and Sepp Straka, if you look at two guys at this golf course, certainly doesn't fit at all. I mean, they're shorter and they're straighter, but they certainly fits in the alternate shot format. As if you look kind of the opposite of what JT is in Bryson, he's very steady, doesn't make a lot of mistakes, and he always keeps it in play. And that's a great, remedy for alternate shot. And you look at his record in alternate shot, certainly is a little bit better than he is in foursomes and individual, because he just doesn't make a lot of birdies, but he doesn't make a lot of mistakes.
Harris English in his second appearance, no record in foursomes, 1-1-0 in four ball, and 1-0-1-0 in singles.
Yeah, short sample size. How can you tell?
Yeah, all of these guys, yeah, for sure. And then Sam Burns, the only one with experience in his second. He's 0-1-0 in foursomes. He is 1-0-0 in four ball and 0-1-0 in singles. So some guys with a chance. And then, of course, Spawn, Henley, Griffin, and Young. It's their first time, so no records. But it's their first, a lot of these guys, they have an opportunity to sort of pad that record a little bit in hopes of, future Ryder Cups, just depending on what happens.
Out of those four guys, who do you see maybe could be a breakout guy that of those rookies? Who do you think that maybe comes out of that little pack of, hey, obviously we know who he is now, but who do you think comes out maybe as the darling of the Ryder Cup out of those rookies?
I'm going to throw JJ Spawn's name out there.
Okay. That certainly has the temperament for it, right? Mm-hmm. Seems to be a bit stoic. I think his length, I think he'll be really good in the alternate shot format.
Yeah.
I think Ben Griffin is going to come out of this thing better than what people think. He makes a ton of birdies, hits it far, and I think he's easy to pair people with. So sure. I'll take Ben Griffin over JJ Spawn, but I will tell you this: both need to play well for the U.S. side to win.
Especially Griffin and Young ranked at number 17 and 20 in the rankings. Not that Bradley went out on a limb picking them, but there's certainly some debate could be made there, maybe for some other guys. Over on the Euro side, as selected, the captain's picks by Luke Donald early Monday morning. You've got Rory. Speaking of experience, this will be Rory's 8th appearance in the Ryder Cup. He is 7-5-1 in foursomes. He is 5-6-2 in four ball, 4-2-1 in singles. Another anchor of his team, right?
Yeah, certainly they're going to be relying on Rory with his record last year in the individual. 4-0-1. Looking, his last year getting 4 points.
Yeah.
They're going to rely on him. I think the year before that, 2 years ago when it was in the U.S. at Whistling Straits, he was the polar opposite and felt like, him the anchor then. And I don't really think, even though he was the number one player in the world or the top European player, I didn't really think he was the anchor already with everything going on that he could handle that role. I think now is a little bit different for Rory. I think his challenge is like what Rory does, putting too much pressure on himself and wanting it too much, things like that. And, to be honest with you, man, the most exciting thing I'm looking forward to is, some of these matchups, some of these, who do you pair with? And for TV that people are getting so into, some of these potential matchups, especially in the singles, if it's really close, boy, how good is that going to be? And I'll say it until the Ryder Cup starts. You wink, wink, nod, nod of Rory and Scotty. Sure. I don't care what you do. The PGA is pulling Luke Donald and Keegan Bradley and saying, hey, man, let me tell you something real quick. This is what we're doing. Go. This is what we're doing. And you want to talk about something that would just be the top rate. It'll get higher ratings than any golf event ever.
Might break the internet, Johnny.
It's just great. It's like I said, that frozen ping pong ball in the middle of those picks is certainly going to be into play.
Next on our list of by experience, Justin Rose in his 7th appearance, 7-2-1 in foursomes, 5-4-1 in four ball, 2-3-1 in singles. The Euros almost have the benefit of like two anchors with these guys' experience over the last few years for sure.
And look coming into probably the last half of the year, last quarter of the year. Has anyone played better golf than Justin Rose? Having a win and being solid and being in contention and having that experience in that Ryder Cup is certainly another guy that they're going to lean on when it comes to that. I certainly don't think this is Justin Rhodes' last Ryder Cup.
No.
I certainly think he's going to be a captain eventually when he gets done. I mean, that's kind of seems like a no-brainer to me when it comes to something like that. But yeah, I mean, your experience when you have something like a Rory and a Justin Rose that you can lean on, especially in playing in the United States, will go into effect when these guys coming down the stretch.
Tommy Fleetwood in his fourth appearance, he is 4-0-0 in foursomes. He is 2-2-1 in four ball, 1-1-1 in singles. And he's riding high right now for sure. He may not have more confidence now than he's ever had in his life, right? And it's coming at the right time. What's his? We haven't really done this with everybody. We'll do it later on, getting closer to the event itself. But for now, what do you think his game is? How do you think his game's going to match up with Bethpage Black as far as when they get there in late September?
You know, he's not one of the shorter guys, but he's not one of the longer guys. But I think he's a bit like that Ian Poulter that kind of comes out during the Ryder Cup and he shines. I mean, if you look at his record, 4-0-0 in foursomes, just goes to tell you that how well the team feels he can be paired with anyone in that alternate shot. Doesn't hit a lot of foul balls, even though in his individual he didn't get it done for so long. But a lot of those times, if you look at his defeats that he hit some bad iron shots or wedge shots, but a couple of those times he just got beat. And, I think if you look at that, I think his stability in the Ryder Cup, I mean, you could maybe look at him as the third guy that they can kind of lean on because they know his success and they know his record, and his added confidence certainly going into the Ryder Cup is going to be beneficial for the European team.
John Rahm in his fourth, along with Fleetwood. You've also got Tyrrell Hatton and Matty Fitzpatrick all in there entering their fourth Ryder Cups. John Rahm also at 4-0-0 in foursomes, 1-2-2 in in four ball, and 1-1-1 in singles. I don't watch John Rahm play golf anymore. So other than in the majors, and it's not like he's had the greatest of seasons. So I don't know anything about his game or how it's going to play out. It's a different game to me over there where he's playing now. And I don't even know how to compare it to other tour players at all. I'm baffled.
Yeah. It's that balance. Bryson's going to struggle with that also. Right.
Yep.
And listen, the end of the day, John Rahm gets as excited about the Ryder Cup as anybody else. Sure. Do I feel Bryson's that way? Yeah, probably, but not like as much as they enjoy it or they want it in Europe. So getting John Rahm motivated to play a Ryder Cup is nothing I'm worried about. If it was just a normal PGA Tour event or a normal European Tour event, maybe. But I don't worry about his motivation when it comes to the Ryder Cup. I want to look at something. And I don't think this is a factor at all. And I think it's going to be mentioned, but I don't really think it's a factor is maybe how these guys will look at him going to live.
For sure. Yeah.
And I don't think that it's really going to come into play a little bit, but there's going to be a lot of questions of, he hasn't been around these guys a lot over the past 2 years because he is going to live, but Tyrrell Hatton's the same way.
Yeah.
So, how do you look at those two guys if you're the Europeans? And I don't think it's going to be a factor just because it is the Ryder Cup, but it's something certainly to maybe think about a little bit.
Yeah, it's not like it's a major where, these guys haven't, and they may hold somewhat of a grudge because they're in competition with them. This is an international team play event, and you're going to put whatever personal feelings you have aside for the betterment of the team, right? And for the betterment of the relationships. And this team is known for their relationships, right? Like looking back at 2 years ago.
Yeah. And it certainly was headstrong by Rory, right?
Yeah.
So, if anyone's going to make a little bit of a fuss about it, it certainly would be Rory. But, there's something to be said about the commonality of what they're trying to do. Certainly in the team room, it's not going to be mentioned. And then, hey, that's squashed. And certainly John Rahm still thinks he's a part of the PGA Tour, but the outside voices and the outside people may be questioning. But I think internally, I think they won't be talked about inside.
Tyrrell Hatton also making his fourth appearance, 2-1-0 in foursomes, 2-1-2 in four ball, 1-2-1 in singles. Matty Fitzpatrick, 0-3-0 in foursomes, 1-1-0 in four ball, 0-3-0 in singles.
Trash.
He hasn't had the greatest. He keeps coming back, Johnny. He keeps coming back.
It's just
I don't.
trash.
If he doesn't perform well here, last Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
I mean, unless he automatic qualifier.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think you're going to have to be an automatic qualifier. You just can't continue to. I mean, he's so young, also too. So it'd be a profound statement to say last Ryder Cup just because. But yeah, I mean, they got to think it. I mean, your past performance when these guys make their picks certainly has something to it. They're going to look at that record, and I just don't. I'm not a Matthew Fitzpatrick fan in terms of his game itself. Obviously, winning the U.S. Open propelled him to some confidence, and you're always going to have that being a U.S. Open champion, dealing with that type of pressure.
Right.
I'm not a big fan in terms of his game getting suited for the Ryder Cup, and I think the record speaks for itself.
And then we've got Victor Hovland, 2-2-0 in foursomes, 0-2-2 in four ball, 1-0-1 in singles. And then we get to my guy, Shane Lowry, with it looks like a binary code across his records. I know that you don't know what a binary code is, Johnny. My apologies. Binary code is the computer language written as ones and zeros.
So let me ask you something real quick. Why would you assume that I don't know what binary code is?
Well, I don't think you just said it right for one thing.
Binary code.
Okay. I thought you said binary.
No.
Like it's sexual preference.
Yeah, I did go to college.
Well, I know you did, but you still can't turn a computer on without calling me first. Okay, you can turn it on. Okay.
Now listen, there are a few people in our company that do call you for that. I'm not one of them. So please do not put me in that category because we're going to have massive issues. Tito.
Oh, Tito. He's already texting me about something from the Ohio studio while we're on the air, so I don't even know.
He doesn't know how to get in the studio. Probably locked himself out. Love him.
Locked himself out of the studio, and there's not even a lock on the door.
He's 4 minutes down the street. It takes him 24 minets to get there.
I know. Plus, he's probably over across the street at 5132. Where
I don't blame him. I do not blame him.
That's where I should be right now.
No, you're not. You're not allowed to go back into Columbus. You know that, right?
1-1-0 in foursomes is Shane Lowry. 1-1-0 in four ball, 0-1-1. Again, a binary code in singles. Ludwig Oberg in his second appearance, 2-0-0 in foursomes, 0-1-1 in four ball, 0-1-0 in singles. You got Bobby Mack, who has no record in four ball or in foursomes, 1-0-1 in four ball and 1-0-0 in singles, winning his only attempt. My name is Sepp Straka in his second appearance, 1-1-0 in foursomes and no record in four ball, 0-1-0 in singles. And then the rookie, Rasmus, or is it Nikolai Højgaard, taking to the tee box. Of course, no record across the board here.
There's going to be a hyphen. Nikolai Rasmus Højgaard. They're just
going
to say
handle that on the graphics.
They're just going to say RN, R-N, just like your
They should just say Højgaard. Like don't even use his first name. Yeah,
it's like Cher. Just say Cher.
Cher, Madonna, Elvis.
Yeah.
IndyCarTim. We're all stars.
Højgaard.
I get it. I feel their pain.
Yeah.
So anyway, there is your European Ryder Cup team. A quick little breakdown, maybe how they compare a little bit with the Americans. The Ryder Cup tees off, of course, September 26th and goes on through the 28th up there at Bethpage Black. I don't know why I got to bring race into it, but they do that in golf still these days. Lee Elder would not be happy with the terminology we use today.
They would love it because the place is awesome and love it. They would love it.
Why we got to bring race into it, calling it black, but whatever.
He would love it. He would love it.
I'm sure he would.
Listen, it has zero to do with the race. It has zero to do with the race. That place is just awesome. It's just
Have you played it?
It's hard. Yes.
You played black? They let you on the black course?
Yes. They said play as far back as you want, sir.
And you played on the pink tees.
He said, please don't touch the cards. and you can play as far back as you want, sir. Waterbed played there. Waterbed went up there and played. He said, I can't ever play golf again. He said, it's the hardest place. It's the hardest place in the world. He said, by far, it's the hardest place he's ever played.
That's
and I concur.
Why they literally have warnings on the course that you should not attempt this or you'll go home crying in the fetal position. I think that's what the signs say.
They won't let you in the parking lot.
I wouldn't even want to go in the parking lot.
Nope.
Just saying.
Nope.
I might go in the parking lot to try to wash some dudes' windows on their car, on their Bentleys for, a couple of bucks. I'd be washing windows.
It's not expensive to play there. I mean, it's a state park. It's not like it's public. I mean, you can play there. I think as a New York resident can play like for $48, right?
You can't even play $48 here in Dallas.
I know you can't play Plantation. What's that?
Plantation.
No, can't Plantation Preserve. What's that place over in Frisco that
yeah. I don't know what that costs.
It's trash.
Yeah, I used to play Pecan Plantation down by where your old
Granbury.
Granbury, because I had a relative that was a member there, so used to play that all the time back in the day.
Tightest golf course I've ever played is that joint. I'll tell you what, that place is
fun though.
It is fun.
If it hadn't changed, it's fun. All right, well, that's going to do it for us, boys and girls, right here on From the Rough. I'm IndyCarTim. That is Johnny. We're going to come back on Wednesday. We come back on Wednesday, or is this our show this week?
We are Wednesday.
All right, we'll be here on Wednesday with some more Ryder Cup talk, some more Ryder Cup news, some more Ryder Cup comparisons, and, of course, probably some non-golf antics that we'll get into like we usually do. But we'll be back. You guys make sure you join us, and make sure you get ready for the announcement of the brand new FanStream Sports website, hopefully launching this week, maybe on Wednesday, as I work diligently to complete it for a launch this week. You guys, it's going to knock your socks off. It's going to knock your golf socks off. How you like that? That's what we're going to do. But we'll be back on Monday or Wednesday. Until then, boys and girls, y'all keep hitting them straight.